Meditation and Spiritual Life, Swami Yatiswarananda. Personal and impersonal aspects of the divine. But as Sri Krishna has put it in the Bhagavad Gita, greater is the difficulty of those whose minds are set on the impersonal. For the heights of the absolute are very hard for embodied beings to reach. Bhagavad Gita chapter 12, Shloka 5. Hence, the worship of and the meditation on the impersonal through the personal aspects and symbols has been most popular in Hinduism in almost all forms of spiritual practice. The aspirant looks upon the divine as the personal being endowed with superhuman attributes who responds to his prayers and worship and helps him in attaining perfection and bliss. Some of the Upanishads contain references to this view of reality. Desirous of emancipation, I seek refuge in that effulgent being whose light reveals the knowledge of the Atman, who first created the cosmic soul Hiranyagarbha and to delivered to Hiranyagarbha the supreme knowledge, who is without parts, without actions, tranquil, without fault, without taint, who is the supreme bridge to immortality, and is self effulgent like a blazing fire consuming its fuel. Shvetashvatara Upanishad. Even in the concept of a personal God itself, there is the distinction between anthropomorphic and non anthropomorphic aspects. In Islam, God is personal but not anthropomorphic, that is, God does not have a human form. The God of Islam and Judaism has been described by an eminent writer as anthropopsychic, that is, possessed of human feelings and thoughts but not human form. In Hinduism, both anthropomorphic and non anthropomorphic concepts are found. In popular Hinduism, worship of various deities is practiced. This does not, however, mean that Hinduism is polytheistic. Regarding theistic doctrine, Hinduism is as monotheistic as any other religion, but with this difference. Whereas in other religions, only one God has been exalted to the status of the supreme God. For example, Yeva in Judaism. In Hinduism, various gods have been elevated to this rank by their followers. So, this is the major difference in Hinduism, which differentiates it from all other religious paths. Christianity, God is the Jesus is the highest, best Son of God, and that God, that divine spirit, is the highest. Um, but in Hinduism, if I'm a follower of Ganapati, I know Ganapati is the son of Shiva and Parvati, but an ardent follower of Ganapati tradition has this very direct belief that Ganesh is the highest reality also. In one way, Ganesh having a trunk and this and that and some mythological concepts, but that Ganesh itself is the supreme reality. If I am a follower of Kali, Kali is Rupa of Devi itself, but that Kali itself is the divine supreme being. If I'm a follower of Krishna, similarly, he is the supreme being. If I am following Shiva, again Shiva is the supreme Brahman, as if. So, this is the Catholicity of Hinduism. Might appear it is polytheistic, so many gods, but Hinduism is as monotheistic as any other religion. Uh, So, this is a very subtle difference. We Hindus very clearly understand this. Others from other backgrounds, other religious backgrounds, they won't be able to understand this fundamental concept. Ekam sad vipra bahuda vadanti. Truth is one, sages call it by various names. This is a fundamental genetical trait of Hindu culture. So, in Hinduism, various gods have been elevated to this rank by their followers. The worshipper of Vishnu thinks that Narayana is the supreme deity and all other gods are subordinate to him. The worship of Shiva thinks that Shiva is the supreme god and he and all other gods are minor ones. Such a concept has been called henotheism by Max Muller. This has enabled Hinduism to integrate diverse thought currents and religious ideals in its fold. Very simple. If I am a follower of Shiva and I see another sadhaka who is doing Ganesha worship as his primary, I know that it's ultimately we are worshiping the same but in a different format. The goal is the same. We all understand that. When I go to his Ganesha temple and bow down, in that Ganesha I see my Shiva. Likewise, he, when he comes to my Shiva temple, he will see his Ganesha in it. So, this Catholicity is very fundamental to us. The idea of one supreme God who is exalted above all gods has been an abiding fact in the religious consciousness of the so it's an abiding fact in the religious consciousness of the Hindu. But so far as the names of gods are concerned, there has taken place a great revolution, as we have already pointed out. Names like Vishnu and Shiva that were of minor importance during Vedic period came to be very prominent in later times, while those like Indra, Mitra and Varuna have been practically forgotten. Besides, the worship of incarnations like Rama and Krishna has come to prevail everywhere, and it has been recognized more and more that the formless or the impersonal is the background of all the divine personalities, which are the manifestations of the immutable, unmanifested principle. There are sectarians who might speak of the superiority of their particular gods, incarnations, and prophets, but seers, the rishis, having the totality of vision, have regarded all personalities, either of gods or godmen, to be diverse expression of the same impersonal. Just as an ocean gives rise to innumerable waves, but continues to be infinite and unfathomable as ever, so also the ultimate reality remains immutable even though giving rise to various gods. Indeed, men of the highest spiritual illumination have realized that whatever may be the holy personality one may begin with, the goal of spiritual life lies in the experience of the ultimate impersonal reality, the one without a second, in which the worshipper and the worshipped, nay, God, souls, and the universe get merged and become one and indivisible.